What's up, everyone? I'm Conan from Exmortus, and you're listening to Brutally Delicious Podcast.
The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast.
Partner Chris, I'm Bruce. Thanks for joining us. I appreciate it.
What's up, Chris? What's up, Bruce? Thanks for having me.
No problem. You know what I find interesting? You're sitting in front of a green screen with no virtual background.
Oh, I know. It's my my usual setup when I stream guitar stuff and whatever.
yeah. It's very cool.
Yeah.
You guys are out in LA, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, we're in Los Angeles, California. But most of the members in our inception, I guess, was we're all from Whittier. So I mean,
Okay.
we like to bring that up every once in a while.
Where is
Even though I don't live
Whittier?
in Whittier anymore. But
Where is that?
that's it's a little more inland. It's like just going further east from LA. It's about like and with traffic, it's a good maybe 40 minutes.
Without traffic, what would it be?
It should be like 15, 20 minutes.
There's no LA without traffic, is there?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it depends on the time. In the middle of the night, you'll get lucky. Yeah. But yeah, it's terrible.
I've seen photos of LA and I'm like, I'll never drive there. It's just never going to happen.
Yeah. It's there's a lot of asshole drivers too. You know how they are.
They're everywhere, man.
Yeah, it's true. But
Everyone else
they're
is-
just more congested over here.
The best part about asshole drivers is they're never you. They're always everyone else.
That is the case.
Yeah, well, I think I've developed some asshole attitudes on the road, so I probably do some asshole things here and there.
We
So
all
it's
do.
poisonous. It's
We all
poisonous.
Sure. So let's talk about Exmortus then. If we want to just jump right in, Necrophony's due out in what, like 3 weeks-ish?
Yeah, pretty soon. Yeah, very soon. On the 25th, we're really stoked about this album. Yeah, we're pretty. What's the word? We're trying something else with this album, kind of. I mean, nothing really different. Nothing like say for Metallica doing the Black album when that came out. That was pretty different, I guess, for what they were already doing. But not so much for us. So I think this time around we're just doing we're pushing a different aspect of our sound because we figure with a new record label, let's emphasize a new cycle, and kind of what we did with our previous records with prosthetic records. Save the Sword was another like a kind of a reinvention of what we do. This one is not as crazy drastic, maybe, but it's definitely a different tone, much darker tone than our usual heroic lyrical content and whatnot. It's a little more darker.
Okay.
The first thing I noticed when I listened to the song was the recording quality was just unfucking believable.
Yes.
Like,
Wow, thanks.
you could just hear everything. It's pretty rare, especially in metal, like aggressive metal, where you can focus in and pick out everything. Like everything was louder than everything else. It was really, I'm not sure who did that, but it was really, I've never heard it in a metal record, to be honest. So how was that achieved?
Well, all thanks to our usual guy, Zach Oren. We've recorded since Slave to the Sword. We've been recording with him. But again, I guess sometimes it depends on maybe the gear we're using, the how we're playing everything, recording everything. Sometimes we've decided to muddy the bass a little bit on purpose. We're just kidding. But this time around, you could hear the bass a lot more. I think it's also just with the gear, the player as well, and I'm glad how it came out with the clarity that it did, because there's a lot of shit going on. we have a lot of notes. We're definitely on the maximalist side of the spectrum. How much shit can you put in a bar? So there's a lot of shit going on. So there's a lot of thick textures, and we like to write the bass parts that counter the guitar harmony structure and when all that good stuff. So it's good that you could hear a lot more of it now on this record. I think Zach really pushed for that, and it came out great.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
it's so melodic too. Like it's like for such an aggressive sound, I was just like, man, that is so melodic. Like I just couldn't wait to hear the bass do that thing that it was gonna do. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. You know?
Yeah,
It-
thanks. No, thank. Yeah, we love a lot of different kinds of music, so I think we all naturally, obviously, melody is a great unifier for a lot of things going on in our songs. But yeah, we have a lot of influences, from growing up, different kinds of music. So we kind of just put everything together, and we all decide like, oh, is this good enough? Is this crappy? Like, how do we make this better? If we can't, we'll just scrap that shit, work on something else, and get it done. So yeah, we kind of just work together to make it the best song possible, best album possible that we could come up at the time. And yeah, we're pretty impressed with ourselves that we were able to do it in during the pandemic, because we were all depressed and shit at the time. So yeah.
But writing this kind of music probably helped you get through it, though, right?
Absolutely, yes. I would say that it did. There's a lot. This album is a little more introspective on theme and stuff. I mean, it only makes sense, right? That's what we all felt at the time, and
Right.
yeah, this is a much darker tone in our songs. There's sure there's like still heroic figures that we write about, because that's our style, right? But this time it's a little more about like I guess songs about redemption, songs about curses, songs about like just tragic heroes versus like glory all the time. So yeah, that's very reflective of the times for us. And yeah, we were like all like moping around a lot for the first half of the whole thing, and we just really made an effort to pick ourselves up and be like, no, we got to finish this album. We got to make define our purpose again. We can't just let this shit bring us down anymore. So we pulled together and finally we did it. We recorded it, and we're really excited about it.
With everything that was going on, was there ever a thought like, shit, we may never do this again, or we may never get back out and do it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, at the very beginning, we're like, oh, this shit'll blow over in a bit. We'll see what happens. And it's like, no, it's still going. So yeah, after a couple of months in, we're like, damn, okay, this is pretty fucking serious. We're very likely not going to be able to do this ever again. We'll see how it is, and we don't know what to expect. So yeah, that was a thought that we had, that we carried with ourselves a lot of the time. Then we would just get together and jam, and we're like, damn, what's the point? But yeah, it was pretty depressing, and but no, but we kept, we realized, why we do it, and we just want to keep expressing ourselves and having a good time playing songs that we make and that we like to jam all the time. We're hoping for a better future and whatever. And yeah, it just like, again, it took us a little bit just to get out of that depressive mindset that we kind of let ourselves fall into, and I'm sure a lot of us did during this time, depending, it doesn't matter, like whatever background and careers we all have, it fucked us, fucked us all over in a way. Right. So, but yeah, I mean, yeah, we had depressive thoughts, but we pulled ourselves out of that kind of stuff. It's all for the best. We finished the album, and we're a lot happier now.
One thing that I was like thinking about is, you're from LA. This type of music I don't associate with LA. So how does that, like, when I think of LA, I think of like rock and roll, like glam metal, hair metal,
Motley Crue.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, how does a band like you come across in a city like LA?
Good point. I don't know. I guess because we're from Whittier. Remember I mentioned that we're from Whittier.
45 minutes each. Depending on traffic.
No. Depending on traffic. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. No, I mean, I don't know. That's a good question, because yeah, that's like that's what people think of, I guess, especially people that are not in heavy metal. Like they think, oh, LA, it's a bunch of like that whole, the rocker scene, the sleazy rock kind of shit going on. Davey Lee Roth, doing cocaine all the time and all that good stuff. But I don't know. For us, I think it's just we just had so many like influences. My dad was into a lot of heavy metal. He did like some of that sleazy stuff. I guess he was more into, of course, like the more serious stuff. I guess like Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, obviously across the pond,
Yeah.
So I listened to a lot of obviously what he had. My parents had at the time, like records or CDs, cassettes, and yeah, a lot of it was they're from the UK, Germany. Scorpions was one of my favorite bands at the when I grew up. Got me into the rock metal, I guess proto metal sound. So maybe that's what it is. I was probably more inspired by the proto metal. I don't know what you want to call these.
Yeah.
The new wave British heavy metal bands. They're just like heavy metal, I guess, true heavy metal, not so much like thrash, death metal, black metal, all that stuff.
Yeah,
But
the Roots.
yeah, so exactly. So yeah, the Roots obviously always go back to that. Every time I need input, I review my favorite albums and whatnot, and I know the rest of the guys do it too. I know we all grew up with say different maybe different bands, different favorite bands, but we all like the same shit regardless. So it's a lot of it. It's just from the roots of heavy metal, and yeah, I don't know. I mean we kind of skip over the sleeve stuff. I mean, we like that sleeve stuff. Don't get me wrong. It's just that it's not where we draw our inspiration to play that kind of music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think my favorite out of all of them would probably be like Van Halen, the party vibe kind of LA style. But I don't think that really shows a lot in our music. I think we're more, I guess, in the I don't know, Ozzy Osbourne park. I don't know how to call this, the region of where it's a little more serious, a little dark, a little more going for that sound and vibe.
Well, I think too, a lot of people when they think of like the early days of thrash metal, they think, oh, San Francisco,
Okay, yeah.
But Megadeth was an LA based band.
Yeah, right? Slayer, right?
Yeah, Slayer.
Yeah, there's a lot of thrash bands that have come out, and I guess
Suicidal Tendencies from LA.
Yeah, I think they are. I forget. Good question. I should know this, but I would assume they are. They very much seem like they are.
Yeah.
I hope it's not like a situation for like CCR, like they're from California, but you would think they're from the South.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't think it's a situation like that. I'm pretty sure they're from LA.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. So what was the process of, so you come out of the pandemic and you got a bunch of songs, you have to get them recorded, you're getting a new record deal, you're working with a new record company. That must have been kind of stressful and exhilarating at the same time.
Oh yeah. I think well, the fact that Nuclear Blast had any interest in us was awesome for us. We were we're just blown away. It was at the time surreal, and actually we had the offer before the pandemic. Okay. So we were ready to go. We're like let's do it. We had another tour set up to go. And all of it all went to shit. So that's where we're like, fuck, what's gonna happen? Thankfully, they still honored the contract that we all signed and whatever. So that worked out, and I appreciate their patience for the lack of releasing anything during the pandemic. But I mean, I guess that's understandable. So, but yeah, I mean, the whole time was stressful, regardless of the pandemic situation. But it was very exciting. Yeah. Like, again, that's the thing. That's why we kind of pushed for a different aspect of our sound, kind of pushing like a darker tone that we kind of had here and there, but just to emphasize it more, to kind of just be like, check it out. We could be, you don't have to do the same shit all the time. And yeah, so far so good. They all seem to like it. So far so good with the fans, with the singles. They seem to be enjoying the new songs. I mean, again, they're not as crazy different as what you would expect, but they seem to dig this darker aspect that we're pushing. So
every comment I read was basically "holy shit." So
good. That's good. It sounds like a good holy shit. Yeah.
They're along for the ride with you, right? Because sometimes if you change it slightly, you lose.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think, that's been the case. Even like say from our first album, which actually turned 15 years old a couple days ago.
Wow.
Ever since that release, when we changed sound or whatever, we lost so many fans, or I don't know. I mean, I don't know if we truly lost them, but they're very, like, a lot of people didn't like the new sound or whatever, even though we sometimes play the really old songs and stuff. But yeah, I mean, it just, yeah, I get what you mean. It's kind of like, it's really risky to change ever so slightly.
Yeah,
it is.
But, and I mean, in the end, it's just like, we write music for ourselves, and it's kind of harsh to say that about fans. Not that we don't appreciate what they do for us, come to shows, buy our merch and stuff. But in the end, it's like we write music for ourselves, and we're expressing ourselves, and we appreciate everyone, coming along for the ride and experiencing our mind, if you will.
Okay.
What was it like? Was Nuclear Blast like supportive? Were they involved in the songs? Like, were they picking songs that you were giving? Like, how was it different compared to what you were used to before?
Interesting. Yeah, they were pretty much down with anything that we wanted to do. I was actually surprised by that, because I was not expecting, but I was kind of like, thinking, what if they wanted to have some sort of producer help us with the songwriting or arrangement or whatever. And no, they were totally cool. They're like, I guess they trusted us, trusted our judgment.
Let's go make the record.
Yeah, and like we just we sent them everything, our layout of what we wanted, and there was really not too much back and forth, like of oh, maybe you should do this and that. I think more so on the layout side there was more discussion there, but musically, no, none at all. I don't recall anything of them telling, oh, you should do this or that. I think we had more of that with the previous record label, Prosthetic.
I find that very interesting, because Nuclear Blast is such a massive heavy metal label.
Yeah.
You think that they would be not like telling you how to write your songs, but they would be like,
right,
we don't have this, we have 7 songs, we need 6 more, whatever.
Yeah.
Like a lot of labels try to keep bands writing for as long as they can until they think they have what they need. Do you know what I mean?
I see what you mean. Yeah. But no, nothing like that. Nothing of that sort. Even in the past, we never really had much, I guess, like that sort of input from the record label, which is cool. I mean, I do enjoy the freedom. Again, I'm not wholly against the idea of having maybe some guidance to see what they want. I mean, we are on their label after all, so I mean, I'm not totally against those concepts or ideas. So yeah, I mean, any idea is good. It's more than welcome, and obviously we will do whatever we can to make it work. Just so long as we're all happy, and if we're not, obviously, then that would be, I guess, selling out, right?
Yeah. No, I just we've talked to multiple artists on Nuclear Blast, and they all tell us the same thing. They say, "Go make the record," and then we give them the record.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
And I'm just like, yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I feel it should be. It's really cool. It's really cool that they're giving us the same treatment.
Yeah. Did they give you a list of producers, or did you just choose who you wanted to use? And they said, okay.
We told them, oh, we're gonna go with Jadran again, and they're like, oh, that's fine, that's cool, I guess, because they liked what he had done for us before, so they knew what they're getting themselves into. So I'm not sure about the next record. I don't know if they want like maybe a different kind of sound or a outcome of production. So we'll see what happens. But no matter what, Zach Owen's there, and we'll always go back to him if we ever need him, because he's a great guy to work with. He understands what we want, and again, he's like another homie from not from Whittier, but he's another homie that has the same background and upbringing of what we like to jam and whatever. So he's a really cool producer and just overall engineer. He's really good.
Nice.
I like how you're like, the record's not even out yet. You're like, but maybe on the next one. You're like creatively, you're always making moves, right? You're always thinking about what's next.
Yeah, I mean, again, I kind of it's also sometimes like previous record label Prosthetic, they kind of recommended going with someone else before, like I think for the second album with them. And we're like, no, we like Zach.
Yeah.
We wanted to work with Zach at the time, strictly. But I'm just like things like that. It's just I'm just kind of preparing for not the worst, but like preparing for situations in the future
could come up.
And I'm just trying to plan for that and just be ready for it. But yeah, I mean, I'm already writing the next album. I can't stop writing music. I hear shit in my head, and I have to put it down, even if it's not even on guitar. I'll like write out like orchestral ideas and stuff, because I'm like, I have to like put it down. I'm gonna use it at some point probably.
So are you well trained in theory?
I would say I'm pretty. Yeah, I'm not like I'm not like a brainiac in music theory, but I love it. I still learn a lot. I still like studying scores of my favorite composers, and yeah, and I like to use a lot of their I guess structures and like arrangements for Exmortus, as you could probably tell
Yeah.
from not just from like the covers that we do, the classical covers, but also just some of the song structures have a very classical feel. With well, of course classical sounding like licks and melodies, but also just structure wise, I like to follow strictly or loosely at times sonata form. That's very common in like the first movement of a symphony.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think a lot of Exmortus ideas do lend themselves to that kind of form where it kind of like organically grows into something and
Yeah. So
expresses itself that way.
So did you play piano? Did you play piano before guitar?
No, I played guitar. Guitar was my first instrument, and actually no, bass was my first instrument. Yeah, I started off on bass, but I learned piano way after, and even then I'm not even good. I gave my piano to my little cousin for his birthday at one point, so I don't even have a piano anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, I should get one because I like to look at music horizontally, one dimension versus the two-dimensional guitar, right? Like
Yeah.
this way and then that way. So
Yeah.
it's interesting to see how things work that way on a different instrument. I recommend that for anyone like writing music. Try writing different things on different instruments just to kind of get a different different angle, maybe, and maybe make you I think it'll make you write a lot better too.
Yeah. Well, the reason I asked that question is because oftentimes when people are well versed in theory, it's because they started on piano before they went anywhere else. Because piano is really the most complete instrument, right? It's drums, it's bass, it's melody, it's chords, it's everything. So
yeah.
And you study classical music. So that's really why I was asking that question, because in your music, you can hear that there's a lot of theory in going on there. Even if it's not like, oh, I'm going to write this out just like this, you're very well aware of what's going on musically, and you're not trying to do things just to do it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, there are those kinds of decisions though. At the same time, because again, it depends on what we're going for during that time in the song. If it's the whole song or just a part of it, but I'll purposely like go for that style. I guess I wanted to make it sound. I want the sound to sound like a Baroque piece. I want this track to sound like something Beethoven would do. Blah blah blah. So I'll follow those guidelines, those rules that I've learned from studying my scores and stuff. But I don't always do that because if I do that, you will lose a lot of the rock elements. So I'll break the rules for like say other songs that have more of a death metal feel, thrash metal feel, because if you try it with that, it won't work as well. I don't think you need the power chords, even though apparently at the time back then, power chords you wouldn't do that. You can't have those parallel fifths and whatnot in
that's the basis
Renaissance
of metal.
Baroque and stuff. Yeah, yeah, right. So exactly, but I still at the same time I'll combine them at times, and it usually yields pretty good results because it has like the best of both worlds. So essentially, that's what we're doing in our music. Combining all these elements that we just enjoy listening to. So
that's awesome.
So I want to go back to revisiting the lyrics for a second, real quick.
Yeah,
probably running up on time, but I know you said they were written during the pandemic, and everything is darker. But is there something you want your fans to take away from after listening to an Exmortus record, or more specifically this newer record release?
Yeah, just I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know. I feel like I should know the answer to this kind of question that I've been asked for every release, and I'm just like, I don't know. I just think every time we're trying to express something heroic and just kind of a feel good kind of thing. There's hardly any real negativity really in a lot of our lyrics. I mean, there's some dark moments and stuff, but this time around it's a little more on that side, right? Of course. So what I would say is just enjoy life while you can. This album is called Necrophony, the symphony of the dead, if you will, and it's just written in a dark time and reflective of all that shit that's going on. So essentially, I know it's like very dark, but I wish for people to feel a lot happier and brighter after experiencing the pandemic and listening to this album, because I don't think it's a downer album like, oh, it's all,
Right.
depressive kind of thing. It's just fueled from that. So I would just say enjoy the album as you will, and take what you will from it. Interpret it as you will with your own mind.
Nice.
So yeah.
All right, Chris.
I have one question not related to the band.
Okay, go
I
ahead.
see you're wearing a Priest shirt. Did you see Priest on the 50th anniversary tour?
Fuck, when was that? I saw them last September.
That was it.
I think yes, last September. That was it. Yeah, that was it. Okay. My wife surprised me. She's like, "Oh, I got tickets for Priest this weekend." I'm like, "Oh fuck, let's go." So yeah, that was for the 50th anniversary. That's right. Yeah, it was great because they played a bunch of shit from their whole catalog. It was like nice and spread out, like rock and roll and on. I think, or then they played Genocide for sure. I don't know if they played anything from rock and roll. They might have. I forget, man. Goddamn.
Yeah, there's so many songs. What was that one?
Too many songs.
I can't remember the song. It's something Highway.
Heading Out to the Highway.
Yeah, they did that song, which shocked me.
Yeah. They played it. They played it apparently a lot in the 80s. I've seen like live footage and stuff, and I guess they took it out later because it's more rocking.
Yeah.
I thought they're gonna play that during their Painkiller tour, or Jugulator tour, which is even heavier. So yeah, it's just it's cool to see a lot of the old school rock and roll jams being played again, because I think that's my favorite era of Priest. I know this is like one of my favorite albums of all time, but early Priest, like 70s Priest, goddamn, something special about that time.
Yes, it's insane.
Yes. Hell yeah.
Insane. But like the thing that blew my mind away when I was at that show, I saw it in Washington D.C. and it blew my fucking mind, was they did Painkiller, and Help was out there, and he's like in his 70s, right? And he's just nailing it, like effortlessly. And I was just like, how is this even happening right now? And I was like, it has to be canned. Like this has to be fake. Like,
right.
But then he would change it a little bit, and
because it doesn't sound like the recording, or maybe even if he did record it like before the tour, I don't know. It doesn't seem like.
No, there was no.
I don't think so.
He was doing it live.
I don't think so.
Like he was doing it live.
It has to be doing it. I know.
But how the hell is he doing that? I don't know anyone that can do that, let alone any 70-year-old that can do it.
Right. Absolutely. I don't know. I think it seems like he has been taking care of himself a lot. Because I know he was going through some shit in the 90s. I remember looking up interviews and stuff and reading about it too, about during the Painkiller tour. He was going through some shit. I don't know, drugs, a lot of shit like that. And his voice was going out a lot, like every night. So he was very like much, I guess really down on himself during this tour cycle. But but like now lately, this is like so many years later, he's actually sounding probably even better than that time. Yeah, so crazy. It's like it's interesting and impressive as hell.
And he's 70.
Right? Yes.
And I'll say this, Firepower is, in my opinion, their best record.
No way. Like, okay. Nice. That's a good take. Yeah.
And I mean, I don't mean it like it's my favorite record, but if I look at their entire catalog and take my emotions out of the songs, like my memories of how I first heard them, and like if I listen to Firepower, it's just ridiculous how good that record is.
Yeah, you're saying it's objectively just
like if you'd never heard Priest before and you heard Firepower first, and then you go and back and listen again and again to other records, it's fucking amazing.
Yeah, and actually I haven't listened to the whole record.
Oh, really?
I only listened to I've only listened to the singles, and I'm like, oh, this shit's awesome. Yeah. I need to listen to the whole album now. Fuck. Yeah, I know it's been out for a while, but I'm late to the game.
They have another one coming out, like I think later this year.
Oh fuck! But then I gotta get on it.
Done by Andy Sneap as well. So
nice. Yeah.
I didn't mean to turn this into
No, that's fine. I had Sad Wings of Destiny
Priest Feast
when I was getting ready for this.
Oh hell yeah, Sad Wings, one of my favorites too. Sad Wings.
Yeah.
Stained Class. I think those two are probably my favorite 70s records from them.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Yeah. I didn't
Anyway.
mean to turn. We're supposed to be talking about your band. I didn't mean to turn it into a priest conversation. But
Yeah, let's talk about Priest all day. Let's do it. I don't care. That's
So I,
cool.
guess, I guess the last thing we need to know is, are you taking this out on the road?
Yeah, of course.
when?
Happen sometime soon, or is that all?
Yeah. Well, we're planning on some things right now, and we should be decided already because it's coming close. But we have some shows. We're playing Metal Injection Fest September 17th, I think. It's on the Sunday. At least there's like a 2-day thing, and we're playing the second day, I think. I already forgot. Goddamn. So we're playing that, and then we have another LA show on November 18th. We're playing with Violence and Bonded by Blood. That's going to be really fun. So we're trying to plan something, and it's so far looks like it's looking really good that we're going to be touring in between these dates.
Oh, nice.
Maybe not the whole time, but just somewhere in between there. So so expect some news about that very soon, and other things for our CD release too, because we plan on another event for that when that comes out.
Okay, cool.
In a few weeks.
Nice.
And that brings me to the end of my questions. Chris, you got anything else?
I don't, man. Thank you so much for the conversation. I hope you don't mind. This podcast is more of like a casual conversation, not like.
Oh, dude, hell yeah, that's fine, man. That's my jam.
We just go everywhere. We've been everywhere today with other people, so.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, exactly. That's totally cool with me. No problem, man. Have fun, guys.
Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah, man.
Good luck
Thanks so
with
much,
the
guys.
record.
Well, wait.
Wait.
Where can people find out about your band? Socials, website?
Oh, social stuff. Yeah. Well, our website is exmortusmusic.com. And that has pretty much all the links that you need for that, and also hitting up management and all that stuff. You could also find us on everything on not everything, but so Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, even though I'm like hardly on there because I don't get Twitter. but yeah, we have all those, and you could also find us on the link tree thing, because it has other links to stuff that have to do with our singles and stuff. So check out exmortusmusic.com or our link tree Exmortus, and you can find everything and anything you need Exmortus there.
Right on.
Awesome. Thank you, man.
Thank you so much for taking the time. Be well. Good luck with
No
the record.
problem. Thank you so much, guys.
All right,
Take
cheers.
it easy. See you around.